So Joy is going to play with us. Deal or no deal?
Will the Nets trade Kyrie Irving this offseason?
Deal. There is a report they will field offers. Basketball is a sport where you succeed means somebody else doesn't get the shot. Harden and Kevin Durant are greater offensive players, bigger people. I trust their bodies more, despite KD's injuries. If I have to go Harden or Kyrie, Harden gives me 80 games. Harden plays his arse off. Harden's a greater per-game scorer. I don't think this is basketball. Kyrie is just taking shots. And I do not think you can have a legitimate bench. If you want to play Kevin Durant 36 minutes, not 44, you've got to have a bench. You can't have a bench having 3 of the top 5 offensive players in the league. I think they move Kyrie Irving.
Interesting. Will the Mavs trade Luka Doncic this offseason?
No deal. Listen, Porzingis and Hardaway are nice pieces, but he's scored 5 times in 13 playoff games. He's scored over 40 points. And the truth is the Mavs were outscored by 43 points when he was not on the floor. Dallas does have to go get somebody who can handle the ball and spell him for about 5.5, 6 minutes a half. Luka's not the issue. The Mavs GM or coach and roster's inability to maintain his standard is the issue. Luka's the thing you keep. You can move everybody. Coach, GM, players, you keep Luka.
Will the Warriors trade Steph Curry this offseason?
You could certainly, when you look at the numbers, make an argument. No deal. I just think he's too popular. I still think he's one of the top 4 or 5 players in the league. He's got 1 year left on a $200+ million contract. He'll be the first player potentially ever to sign 2 $200+ million contracts. But, I mean, listen, he's going to make $46 million next year, so he's going to be the highest paid player in the NBA. Now, the good news is he's not only the best shooter in a shooter's league, he's the best ball handler, and he's one of the best guys.
Yeah.
So I think you can justify, because the Warriors have 2 picks in a very good draft, a 7 and a 14. So they're going to get 2 guys, 2 rotational guys. It's
or
a very
trade.
Yeah, or they trade and get 1 really good guy. So I can live with paying Steph a lot of money.
Will the Sixers trade Ben Simmons this offseason?
That's a deal. He's done. He doesn't fit Morey. He doesn't fit. Doc's not really into rebuilding players at this point. Doc wants already made products. He wants the omelet, not the egg. He didn't want to make the omelet. Simmons is entering the 2nd year of a 5-year deal at 177. So it's a lot of money. It's not Steph Curry money. You can move him because he's an elite defender, great size. The knock on him is he may not be real coachable. He's been coddled a lot. But I think he's a movable player. You know, a lot of people need a 6'10.5" ball handler who defends well. I mean, Rudy Gobert not doing you much in the playoffs either, and Rudy Gobert's got value. You can move him in a heartbeat, so they'll move him.
Will the Blazers trade Damian Lillard this offseason?
No, because I think outside of Steph Curry, he's got no equal in the league. He's the 2nd best or best shot maker late in games in the league. So what's the point? What Portland needs is a wing scorer. They need I think they need a better backcourt mate that can defend. CJ McCollum and Dame are not great defenders. Dame's small, right? Like he's not. So Ben Simmons to me is not a terrible move for Portland to move CJ McCollum and draft picks. So Dame's the guy. When you have one of the best shooters in a shooter's league and maybe the best or 2nd best clutch player in the league, you don't move him. You find players who do what he can't.
Will the Wizards trade Bradley Beal this offseason?
Yes, deal. I mean, he's going to be on his 3rd coach. He's got to want out. He's going to exercise his option. He should. It's a losing franchise. Chaos. Too many coaches. And you know what? It's time for Washington. Start over.
Will the Clippers trade Paul George this offseason?
No deal. He's 31. I think he's got at least 3 years more of high-level 3-and-D. I mean, he can hit a 3, he can D. Paul's a really good player. He's one of the closest things we have to Kawhi Leonard in this league. He's a good guy. He's a gym rat. He works his butt off, sometimes in big spots. You know, say what you want, he's averaging 31 a game in his last 4 playoff games without Kawhi. So the idea that he's sinking, he missed a free. If he'd have gone 1 for 2 last night, we'd be okay. He went 0 for 2, and we think he's a bum. Paul can play.
There's a little bit of a reaction to missing those. I mean, look, you got to make your free throws, though. Will the Pelicans trade Zion Williamson this offseason?
No deal. Not yet. They're not going to trade him until they're forced to. It's like Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
You don't move him until you're forced to. He is set to become a restricted free agent. They can match his offer in a couple years. I think you hire like a Chauncey Billups. You get Mike Krzyzewski on as a consultant, make him feel at least comfortable. You give this group of guys one more year. If they don't work, you go out and make a big trade, but you don't trade Zion. Again, he's as good a young big as we have. Don't screw with that.
Will the Lakers trade Anthony Davis this offseason?
I would consider it strongly. I don't think they will because I do think Anthony's going to feel the heat. He's hearing it. He's going to put in the time. There's going to be a longer off season to get his body healthy. Anthony's going to have a really nice all-star year. He'll be in the MVP conversation. But after that, if Anthony has a huge year next year, I think I would strongly consider it. This is who he is. He doesn't put the time in. Sometimes players, when forced to do something, will. Ben Simmons probably will do some things in the next calendar year because he's forced to. But people revert back to what they are. And Anthony is not a grinder, is not an off-season workout guy, and his body tells you that. Deal or no deal. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.